We live?
Yeah, we live, bro. We are live. Go
Are we
live.
live?
Yeah, we live. I'm just doing one little touch up on my part at the end of the thing, but we live. Go live.
How would you guys feel about the people on the screen or whatever? How would you feel about a porn star draft?
A porn star draft. Like I
Porn star
said,
draft.
I will do it. I'm not. Stop trying to climb me when I say, listen. I don't know these chicks' names. I just know their faces. I see their faces. I know who they are. I don't know their names.
Now we're done with the lies. Here's what I really had to say. For real, that wasn't really what I had to say.
Go ahead.
Before we get started, I got something important I need to say.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Go ahead. We're listening.
AIDS commercials. You not low.
AIDS commercial.
AIDS and HIV commercials. You not low. You're going to understand when I tell you what's going on in the AIDS and HIV commercials.
What's happening now?
And they've been doing this shit since we've been kids, and y'all ain't been peeping it.
What's up?
On AIDS or HIV commercials, there's nothing but Black, Latino, gay, and trans.
Wow.
Have you ever paid attention?
Now I'm gonna go back and watch them all.
I just saw one today.
Now I'm gonna go back and watch
all of them. All of the AIDS commercials.
Watching.
Yo, they're gonna take your phone if you do that shit. All AIDS commercials.
You're gonna get a alert for sure. They on their way.
Even back in the day with the OJ Lisa and AIDS, nobody remembers the commercial but me, and I can't find it online
because it don't exist.
Dog, the Mandela effect. Nobody remembers this shit, but like certain people. But I saw one this morning, and I was looking. I'm like, yo, I see what y'all niggas is doing. They start the commercial off, and it's a black dude.
Hey, if you got AIDS,
yeah.
I got.
And there's people playing drums and shit behind them and shit, and I'm like, come on, yo, what drums got to do with AIDS?
No, niggas like drums.
I want to know. I want to know when they make these commercials, the type of, you know how they sit in the room, they have that creative. Mm-hmm. Everybody got to do the pitch. I want to know who looked at the guy and said, "Yeah, the dude right there with the drums, he's awesome. Let's put him in there. Right. Let's put some drums in the back of this guy.
We need some drums. Drums on AIDS." But
niggas like drums.
Niggas like drums.
Yo, sorry, we gotta bleep that out. Gotta bleep that out.
Listen,
niggas
go
like drums.
To every
808s, put some 808s behind that man.
little John come up. Yeah, that niggas ain't got AIDS. Yeah, get tested.
You Juvie and motherfucking Manny Fresh come out, don't make a video.
Don't talk to me about them niggas. You know they already for that. Anyway.
Let's stop before we already got banned.
Yeah,
we already got an episode banned.
So if you're looking for I don't even want to see the episode's name because
give them the number.
You're looking for
episode 72, 73,
72
on YouTube.
Episodes you can't find on YouTube. If you were looking for the last episode, we were talking about viruses and medicines. If you won't be able to find it on YouTube, maybe we can put it back up on Facebook some way somehow.
Yeah,
we
got
to go.
You mean Meta?
Got pulled from Meta too.
It didn't get pulled from Meta. Meta kept it.
All right,
yeah, but YouTube they didn't appreciate the fact that we expressed our opinion on you getting it or not getting whatever's out and available for you at this very moment, and they said that it pretty much violated their
ethics.
Not ethics. It's
misinformation.
Yeah, because that's what they're worried about.
Although there's nothing but misinformation on YouTube.
Yeah. No.
But when it comes to a particular subject where they're trying to push an agenda.
Correct. But either way, AIDS commercials, you're not low.
Yeah.
That's all I have. That's all I have on that.
So we talking about.
Oh, and if you don't know, we are the Opinionated Podcast. And I am your host, Cool Kev, and I guess that's
I'm Andy.
That's Andy Griffin. And
I switched my name to Kevin Durant.
That's Kevin Durant.
That's Kevin Durant. You can catch him on Fridays at 8:00 when
I was fucking inebriated.
He's always inebriated.
That's not the fucking button to put, y'all.
I don't know. I don't work the control.
They're labeled.
And it's low.
Oh man.
Oh, you don't know how to work it.
He don't work the boards, Dre. You normally work the boards.
Hey.
You're trash. Turn that shit down.
As you can see, Dre and Andy in the rant is a little
Andy
off
in the
today.
rant. New
Andy
show.
in the rant.
Woo! New show.
They don't include me in anything.
What you want to be? You gotta have a cool name.
You can't just come there with
Gotta
cool
be-
Kev.
you gotta have a
can't
cool
come
name,
there with
buddy.
that cool personality either.
I
You gotta
don't
come. You gotta come with some shit.
Kev the Hitman Hart.
Oh,
you got the-
shit. Yeah, I like that. I like that. Only if I could come to the
Kev
music.
The Weed Man. We gotta have something
Can't
for
have
you.
the weed man. There's already a
Kev
New
the Weed
Jersey
Man.
weed man.
Kev the Weed Man.
Nah, I don't like that.
Fart? I don't know. Whatever. I don't care. What are we talking about today, man? We're gonna come up with something for you.
Now we went funny. Now it's about to get dark. Nah, not dark.
It's not gonna get dark. We need to have a real conversation.
Yeah, real convo.
Real
Yeah.
conversation.
Who do we have to vent to?
Who do black men have to vent to?
Nobody.
That used to be one of my songs. Who can I run to?
You never can answer that question.
Never can answer it.
I can't. Like I'm stressed. Right. I told you before. I've been stressed. I've been stressed for a long time, man. Like I said, everybody know my brother passed away. That shit's just like I really haven't had a chance to grieve it. I ain't got nobody really fucking talk to about it.
I don't think that's something that you ever really get over grieving, because especially with the bond that you had and have with your brothers, that is that's a hurt piece. I mean, that was a hurt piece for everybody that was around him. So you can only imagine the things that you would have to go through in your own mental.
Right.
You know what I mean? And to try to make yourself appear to be happy at times when times aren't happy. I don't know. It sounded like somebody
at the door.
That's some kids. I don't, dog. I don't. I keep it G real with you. Like this past couple of months, dog. Like I've been having fucking like horrible, just terrible fucking nightmares. Just the nightmares get bad. Nightmares get worse. It's days I just can't stop crying. It's just all types of shit. And I ain't got nobody to turn to. I really don't. Because I don't like who the fuck gonna listen. Who really gonna give a fuck?
So I'll listen.
I would.
Me and Dre are definitely here for you for whatever, bro. That's real shit.
We all have friends. We all have family. We all have girls or wives. But I do think in our minds, at least in mine, sometimes you be like, yo, I know I could talk to my homies. I knew that for a long time, but sometimes you really like, yo, who gonna care? Because we men, you feel like if I come to you saying, yo, man, I'm stressed at work, and really take a deep dive into it, I don't want to take you away from your family. I don't want to take you away from your family about my shit. It's like, yo, if you dealing with it, then fuck it, I could deal with it. Type shit. You know
also,
what I'm saying?
Sometimes I feel like you don't want to just put your problems on somebody else's
baggage
plate.
And shit.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's one thing when we just, busting it up, having a conversation, and we talking about shit that's going on, and then we actually get into some shit. Now but if you just calling a person randomly because you have to get something off your chest and it don't have nothing to do with them, you don't know what's going on with them mentally, physically. So it might be a little bit harder for you to do. You know what I mean? Like, some people just don't want to put that on somebody else. Like, man, not only do they don't want to hear it, but they don't care. And you know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure they got their own shit they dealing with. So, you know what I mean? It's different thought processes before you decide that you want to release whatever's going on in your brain and wanting somebody to be interested.
Right. It's one of those things. So I probably said this before, that what was that, like maybe a year and a half, 2 years ago? Oh, it was before Mask, I think, that like how, I had trouble conceiving kids or conceiving.
Yeah, we was talking about me. Yeah.
I had trouble. And this customer, and I believe I said this story before. I was in the customer's house and they were just asking me stuff. And she was nice. And I'm a man and I'm regular. I told y'all how I am in people's houses. Just regular as shit.
Yeah.
And she's asking me shit. We talking about the fact that I got my nieces and all that and this and that. And then I broke down crying in her house. And it came from nowhere. I had no idea where it came from. I'm like talking to her. She's asking me. I'm like, I start kind of resisting a little bit. And then I just start crying. And I'm like, what the fuck is happening? And I told my cousin, he was like, I told my cousin later. He's like, yo, you can always talk to me. I was like, I mean, I get it, but nah, because what can you, and this is my fault. What can you tell me? Like, just being an ear is great, But what can you tell me about what I'm going through that's going to help? That's what I think
I don't think
men
it's
get stuck in.
I don't think it's the ears. I think it's you looking at them like you can just see like they not into this fucking conversation look on their face, and that kind of fucks you. Like, damn, now here I am putting my fucking heart out to somebody, and they got this fucking look on their face like, okay.
It makes you shut down.
Yeah, it makes you like they looking at you like, oh, how much longer are you gonna be here? How much longer are you gonna fucking talk to me? I'm like,
even if they're not.
Yeah. And I don't think we like. I don't know. Sometimes I look for the answer, but sometimes I'm not looking for the answer. Sometimes I'm just looking to get shit off my fucking chest, just so I can say, all right, I got that out of my head real quick. I'm good.
That might be what everybody wants to do, because listen. I went to my mom took me and my brother to a psychiatrist long time ago.
It's cool.
So I kind of know what to expect, and I'm going to go back to therapy, by the way. I know what to expect. You literally just sit there. It's not a couch. It's couch there. It's couch present. But you literally just sit there. Motherfucker asks you questions, but you really just talk. He asks you questions, but they give you room to talk. That's it. Funny story. Can I tell y'all a funny story?
Please do.
I swear to God. I'm in the I was like 16 though. I'm in the psychiatrist's office, and we used to go there, and I used to tell this nigga nothing. He would ask me questions. Y'all, how you doing? I basically say, I'm cool. He asked me a whole bunch more questions. I'm good. One word answers, and then we be done. One of the days, this nigga forgot I was in there or something. Like I just didn't talk for a long time. This nigga farted so loud. I swear to God. I swear to God. He was a cool nigga. Like he's a white dude, but he wore like sweaters and like sweatpants and loafers. Just kind of odd. And I remember just
that combination.
I remember just sitting there. And the nigga, I swear to God, no words. And I was like,
yo, bro,
we done? We done? And he ain't say I'm sorry or nothing. I don't know if he was trying to play mind games with me or what, but that shit made me say, Mom, I don't think I'm gonna go to the psychiatrist no more, dog. It ain't doing nothing.
They don't. How can they do their job if you quiet?
I didn't know that back then.
That's the same thing right now. How can anybody do their job when you quiet? Like when I go through my shit, bro, I just be sitting in the car some days just fucking riding. And it just be back. I just have a day. I don't know what to do about my day. I just be sitting there just going.
Days.
It was just, dog, I think it was just a couple of days ago. I just sat in my truck all day, just miserable, crying, just crying. I'm like, damn, and I know what I'm crying for, but I'm just crying. I'm so sad. And then later on that week, I had a dream. My brother came to me in my dream. He's like, why you crying every day? I said, bro, I'm sad because you gone. He said, I'm good, though. I said, bro, you don't understand. I'm going through a lot right now. He said, stop worrying about it. And then I woke up. I'm like, damn. Like,
are you going to listen to him? Because
that's kind of hard.
That's a very direct.
It's kind of hard. You can't
not take that as a message, bro.
It is a message, but it's impossible. Like I told him, like I cry, every day it rains, I cry, because when I went to the hospital when my brother got killed, it was raining that day, and I remember driving on the highway, it was raining like a motherfucker.
I remember.
So every day it rains, I'm so fucking depressed all day long until it clears up. Even on his birthday, when I went to visit him at his grave, what it do? It was a bright sunny day. He's in the summertime. Out of nowhere, this cloud just comes over. While I'm at his grave, it just start raining. I'm like, just left. I leave. I don't get around a lot. Like people don't notice. My whole demeanor changed. I don't like being in a lot of crowds. I always been like a. Y'all can always say before now. I used to be like a funny nigga. Always try to be funny in the crowd. Everybody knew me. Everybody seen me. Now I don't want to be. I don't want to be around motherfuckers. I don't. I leave
until we have a cookout.
I don't even want to be there.
It's your cookout.
I just have them.
I'm not even being joking. It's usually your cookout.
And I have them to have them. But the whole time I'm saying to myself, like, well, I wish my brother was here to enjoy this shit.
I get that.
Yeah. You get what I'm saying?
I get that.
That's what plays in the back of my head the whole time. Like, my family, like, why are you so standoffish? Because it's like, motherfuckers don't know. It's like a whole barrier put up around me right now. I'm like very hostile. I'm sad all the time. Like, all that shit.
Let's have this conversation now.
Yeah.
Do you think, and I'm not trying to be a
Be a psychiatrist. Go ahead.
But no, this is just me asking you. Do you think that's healthy? No. In the long run. So, because my thing is,
I know that for a fact.
Grief is crazy. Grief will make you feel like you have 1,000,000 pounds on your fucking shoulders. Grief, and you don't know where to put it at. But you do, to me, have to take the steps to try to get through grief. You can never get over the death, but you have to get through the grieving process. That's very important,
bro.
So you can give so you can give, because your kid's gonna need you in a certain way.
I know that's,
you know what I'm saying.
But that's what the thing though, Dre, is like when that shit happened, like I didn't I wanted, like I cried a little bit, but I didn't cry because I'm like my mom and them grieving.
Cried.
You know what I'm saying? I cried here and there. I didn't never have a day where I broke down. With just like I had maybe one day where I just laid in bed all day. But I don't have that. I got to get up and go to work and all this other shit. I got to deal with the kids. I got to be happy around certain people. I talk. I got to have this energy. I don't have it every day. And motherfuckers look at me like when I don't have it every day, like, oh, what the fuck wrong with him? Like, niggas, a lot wrong with me right now. You just don't fucking know, nor are you even going to ask. You just automatically put in your brain like, all right, this nigga's on some fuck shit today, not knowing that I'm stressed the fuck out or I'm like depressed.
So what do y'all think we need as men to help us do things like that?
Bro,
we gotta talk about
it. For one, dog, what I learned now, I got sons. I tell my sons, they get sad, depressed. Yo, go ahead and cry. You don't look weak. You got a problem, come talk to me about it. Because, dog, all of us as men, we went through the fucking worst era. We went through the 90s, which was probably one of the worst eras when crack hit and all that shit.
It was the best era, but whatever.
Bro, listen, the first time.
For certain things, yeah.
Certain things, dog. I think my first, in the 90s.
For most things.
The 90s, dog, at 7 years old, I knew what death was. Like, I knew what like, my mom's best friend was stabbed to death. I remember my mom crying in the car. I remember seeing her cry. Because her best friend just got stabbed to death. That's me at 7 years old realizing something made my mom. I never seen my mom cry up until that point. So I'm like, what made my mom sad? Then I found out what it was. Like, I seen that. I seen motherfuckers get beat the fuck down over. It was just a lot of shit.
Have you ever properly dealt with grieving in your life?
I think only one I really said I properly did was my grandmother passed away. It was hard that day. But I understood it because she was always telling me how sad she was. My grandfather was gone. I lost my grandfather. That was all of us lost our grandfathers at one point. And which was our world. So all
that was
of us.
Very hard for me.
Yeah. You talk about it. Speak on it.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people don't know, but I go through depression a lot. I deal with it at least a couple times a month where I'm mentally broken. And the shit is just it's hard to explain. A lot of times it's just I can't figure out exactly what I want for myself, or you know what I'm saying, how I could fix certain issues. And losing my grandfather was
Understand.
Yeah. And for me, it was very hard. It was probably the hardest I've ever took anyone's death in my life. And I remember being at my grandfather's funeral. That's part of the reason why I don't really like going to funerals anyway. Ever since then, before I could deal with it. Now it's a little harder because it always reminds me of when I was at his funeral. And I remember my Aunt Marcia came. I was already crying. But when my Aunt Marcia came and she like hugged me over like the pew, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I remember hugging her and crying for 10 minutes straight. 10 minutes straight. I would not let her go. You know what I'm saying? It hit me hard like that. Even driving around on a normal day, if I start thinking about it, then I will start crying a little bit. Then I'll suck it up. Go right back to whatever I was doing, but it's hard, and getting through it is I don't think it's ever done. You know what I mean? I don't think you're ever done getting through it.
That whole time, I used to hear people say that bullshit, and I used to even preach that bullshit to people. I don't even say that to nobody. All time heals all wounds. That shit.
It don't.
It don't. It makes you deal with it easier. It don't heal no fucking wounds. It just like I remember losing my grandfather. That was like the worst. That was the worst.
Yeah.
Cause I was there when it was all hooked up to everything, and I remember my mom said they're gonna take him off all this stuff, and we just gonna let him go. Then like around midnight, like like 11 or somewhere in between that time, I get the phone call. Boom, it happens. I was done. I ain't want to deal with nobody. I was done. I didn't want to talk to nobody. I didn't want to be around nobody. I was just done. I was like, I'm like, I idolize this man. I wanted to be this man. So I was like, yo, I was just done. My world was done. I was like, and like my girl at the time couldn't understand it. She thinking shit about her. I'm like, yo, ain't shit about you. Like, why and it made me so mad. I'm like, what the fuck are you trying to make this about you for? You don't see what I'm going through right now. This ain't just I don't know how people are with their grandparents. This ain't no regular grandparents. Like, I live with these people. This man raised me. Like, this was my father figure in my life when my father was out doing whatever he wanted to do in the streets. This all I had every day. I would be at his house for months on end. My mom was like, here, you go to your grandfather's house, your grandparents' house. I'll be there months on end. Like, yeah, y'all don't understand that situation.
Nah. It's
like,
yeah.
Think about that shit. Who have you really, besides us having this conversation right now, who have y'all ever talked to this shit about?
You talk, but do you really talk? Because me and my cousin talk about my grandfather all the time. Because me and him, under my grandfather, we the two oldest grandsons. That's, you know what I mean? Like he met the same. Me and him reacted completely different at the time, though. You know what I'm saying? Not for any reason, but I feel like for what we talking about today, being able to talk through it, being able to work through your emotions and shit. And the way he kind of responded was very like, how can I say it? Like
in the show,
very bottled up. You know what I
just
mean?
didn't cry, act like everything was cool.
Not everything was cool, but like it's like he couldn't let it out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I worry about that a lot more because I do feel like if you are able to cry, you can get some of it out. Turn me down a little bit, just a smidgen. You can get some of it out. Like that's an emotional release. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Think about when you was a kid and you got a beating, and everybody knows you do that cry, but then you do that big ass exhale after you cry, and it fucking feels like 100 pounds has been lifted off of you. Y'all know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know the one
that exhale. Right.
And then you
go to sleep.
Yeah.
That's usually what happens. You get a beat, you get a whipping, you cry, you fucking take that exhale, and you go to sleep because a lot of it comes out. You know what I'm saying?
Basically, Dre saying that we need to get our asses whooped more often.
Might help. No, seriously though, but that is an emotional release, that crying, and it is healthy. No matter what anybody says, it is healthy.
Yeah, I mean, it's just that people, I don't know. I think another reason men don't cry, especially around women, is like
not to do it.
They you feel as though they play on your emotions when they see you cry, like they think you vulnerable or fucking weak. And like, I'm not weak. Like, I'm going through something. You don't like right now. I cry like, but motherfuckers don't know how much anger and rage I got inside of me. I'm quick to do anything now. I don't anything anybody say to me or what they're gonna do to me, like personally, vendetta because of my brother's situation. I respond exactly what you say you're gonna do to me. And that could be a bad thing because it could put me in bad situation because the nigga might just be saying that shit to try to scare me. I don't know that shit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not taking it as you trying to scare me. I'm taking that's what you're about to do. So all right, cool. I'm gonna match your energy.
Yeah.
And I already got this anger, bro, real shit. When they was looking for my brother, kill him before they found him, I prayed every day they would catch him. And the reason I prayed every day is catch him because I'm like, damn, man, if they don't catch him, my mom's going to lose one of her sons to the prison system for a very, very long time. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I thought I seen a motherfucker one time, dog. I thought I seen him. Everything went black. I went to straight react mode until I ran up on and realized it wasn't the person. It wasn't, you know what I'm saying? That's that's the type of anger and issues that we have built in as black man that we can't get out. Like I know it. Like I don't anybody say anything crazy or wild to me. I'm not that type of dude. I love my kids. I love being home. I ain't no thug. I ain't no gangster. I ain't none of that shit. I'm never gonna claim that shit. But I will take what you say to me to heart and serious because I got all this emotion built up and pent up inside of me. You say that's what you're gonna do. All right, I'm about to see if you're gonna do it because I'm gonna do what you said you was gonna do to me. And it's just that's a bad way of going through life.
I think that's more like, you ever hear of anybody imploding?
Nah, I never heard that.
So to me, like that's, if somebody implodes, that usually means they have so much, you know what I'm saying? Like they don't explode all the time. You know what I mean? They don't let that shit out all the time. But when they do, God help who's ever, you know what I mean, whoever their wrath is released upon. You know what I'm saying? That's dangerous for everybody. And I think every man kind of carries a little bit of that around with him.
That's why they always say it'd be the quiet ones.
It'd be the quiet ones,
like,
yep.
Be the quiet ones.
Absolutely.
I don't argue. That's why I don't argue with people now. I don't get in conversations with nobody now because I don't want nobody saying something stupid to me. Because when they say something stupid to me along them lines, I automatically process that shit and I take it to heart. I'll just walk away. I'll walk away and start automatically start plotting. And somebody may catch me, be like, yo, bro, chill. Nah, just what they about to do, right? All right, cool. I'll be right back.
That's
it's a bad thing, but there's a lot of men out there like that dealt with, like we dealt. How much trauma have we dealt with? Think about how much fucked up shit have we seen as black men in our life. Like, okay, let's do it. Here we do a test. How many of us ever seen a woman get her ass beat in their life or beat down?
You don't want me to talk about that.
No, I'm just saying.
That's something I will talk about with a therapist.
Okay. How many of us seen death? Okay. How many of us been in life or death situations?
If you're listening, that's all of us.
Oh,
our hands are raised.
Yes, our hands are raised.
This is shit that
good call. Good
you got what I'm saying? I mean, I don't know about y'all, but I've been shot at before. How about y'all? Nah,
in my
I've
direction.
Definitely been shot at before.
Yeah,
in my direction. But
this is shit military soldiers go through. Look how much whatever the
PTSD
they have. We regular 3 dudes. I'm not into the streets like that. That's just because the environment we grew up around, we was just exposed to shit like this.
It was normal, and to cut in. That's why before we started this episode, I was telling y'all about how I was talking to my boss, and he was the one thing he said to me was like, "Yeah, I know you like to speak your mind, you know what I mean." He was like, "I do too, but you know, you got to." I'm like, I was trying to tell him on the phone, it's like you're speaking your mind and me speaking my mind is a whole different thing. Those dudes in suits, I'm not scared of them like they scare y'all. Like you dig what I'm saying? Like they scare them. Like they'll fire you. All right, your life is over. I'll be fine. It sounds crazy, I know.
No, it don't.
But the first thing I was saying is like, them niggas can't beat me. I'm sorry. and I don't mean that in a threatening way. It's like, yo, if the
like
niggas
they can't end, it's not the end of
right.
It's not end all be all for me. It's not finished, it's not end game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
jail, nigga.
Like, yeah, you can't beat me and you can't beat me.
Right.
You know what I'm
it's
saying?
Like, I'll be fine if them niggas do decide to call me. It's like I've always been the type that I'm going to speak my mind because this is we had an old boss and he was like, yo, he not here no more, so you ain't gotta worry about nobody trying to fuck you. I was like, yeah, but fuck all them niggas because they not for me anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, I feel you.
Boss makes $1, I'll make a dime.
Right.
That's why I poop on company time.
I've never heard that before, and it's amazing.
I sing that shit all the time. I tell my girl that all the time. I'm like, what? I'm gonna wait till I get to work to take a shit. Well, I mean, I know it's off topic, but because they make money watching what I do, so I'm gonna make money taking this shit instead of being home
pooping.
Yeah,
I'm gonna make money while I shit.
Yo, and it sounds funny, and this is off topic, but everybody at my job lives by that rule. It's like, yo, we here for 10 hours. I'm definitely taking a 20-minute shit. You know what I'm saying?
20?
Yeah,
40.
Nah, I got work to do, bro. I got work to do. If you ain't see me on live the other day, we building shit.
Oh.
And we building shit and taking shit.
I have work to do in that toilet. That's just me.
But yeah,
that's my release.
But no, for real, they don't care, and it goes back to how you feel about a situation. They don't really care about how you feel either. They dictate how much you make and how you're going to make it, and why you should deserve what you should deserve. And even if you feel the other way and you express how you feel, they're just going to be like, okay, so why shouldn't you feel the same way?
Correct.
I don't know if you guys, I made a post on Facebook a few days ago talking about I think her name was Sarah Blakely.
Yes, I saw that.
First of all,
I had to look that up.
That shit is wonderful. And if you don't know, Sarah Blakely is a CEO. I'm not sure of what
Spanx.
What is that what it's called?
She created Spanx.
She's the CEO. Yeah. And
she's quite well known.
I believe the owner of it now, I think something happened where they're like black owned or something like that now. Something crazy happened.
Give me some Spanx.
But and don't quote me on that. I'm not sure. I was just listening to Charlemagne one day. He actually put me on, and she gave as a bonus to her employees, talking about over 750 employees. She gave as a bonus, she gave them 2 first-class tickets to anywhere in the world, right? So they could go on a trip to anywhere. I'm talking about anywhere. You know what I mean? They could go across the world and back on her dime. She can afford it. I mean, obviously, the company does well. But on top of that, she gave them $10,000 to spend while they're out and about. So basically, that's a free trip to anywhere you want to go, stay at any hotel you want to stay at, buy whatever you want to buy, and come back to every one of her employees.
Wouldn't you feel refreshed?
I would feel like I would. That is appreciation on the highest level. You know what I mean? Like, you want to work for people like them. It makes you want to be like, you know what? I'm coming to work all the time. Who knows what she's going to do next year? You know what I mean? Like, who knows what's coming next? You know what I mean? And it's appreciation like that kind of like relieves you of whatever the all the things that built up to the point where you're like, yo, this is too frustrating. I'm tired of doing this. I'm tired of doing that. And a gesture like that is like, you know what? I would do it all over again for that. You know what I mean? Like, you look back at a situation after you feel the type of appreciation that you need, and it kind of erases everything from that point, because it's like, yo, what I did had some sort of a purpose, or, you know what I mean?
Someone cared.
Someone cared enough to be like, yo, y'all, you did such a good job. You deserve this. You know what I'm saying? No strings attached, because you've already put in the work.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's dope.
And it's definitely dope. So shout out to her and everything that's going on over there. And if any of us can get hired, please.
We'll podcast at Spanx. Spanx headquarters.
Yeah,
we'll do it.
Yeah, for sure.
Now with that, when you posted that, I had to Google it. I didn't know what you were talking about. Like, I know Sarah Blakely is, but I'm like, let me see. Well, I saw that. I was like, get the fuck out of here.
That shit was crazy. Mind you, I'm at work listening to a podcast.
Nigga flipped everything over.
And I'm just looking around like, we fighting for raises now. Like, just basic raises. I mean, they just gave us our raise, you know what I mean, too. But even then, we still feel underappreciated. I mean, at least our section, our crew.
Because there's real ways to show appreciation to people, and the people up top forget. They think that I don't mean to cut in on your shit, but they think that having a call saying, hey, this tech at my job, this tech sold the most. Yeah, let's give him a round of applause. What the fuck that got to do with the tech busting his ass? That's nothing to do with the tech busting his ass. Meaning, giving him a round of applause because he sold the most shit.
Oh, give him a round of applause because he made us money.
Because he made us money, right? It's like, oh, that's a tech appreciation call.
Yeah, that's not
the fuck are you talking about?
And you're just a number at that point. You know what I mean? Because
correct.
I mean, you're replaceable. That's how they're always gonna look at you.
Yeah.
You're not. If I was a CEO, and I'm thinking in their mind, not my own mind, but their mind, you are all replaceable. I can find someone to do your job tomorrow. That's how they look at us, because we're at the bottom. And it is because there's somebody who's in need of a job. And if we were to lose it, they're going to find that person
for cheaper.
Yep. or cheaper. They're going to start over.
Yes,
you know what I mean? You might not get the experience, but we'll build you into what we want. And if not, you're replaceable too. You know what I mean?
And
Like,
we'll talk about that one day. The real reason why, this type of I guess like the middle class exists and what they're used for. But
it just goes back to say what's the point of speaking how you feel or getting something off of your chest to someone who actually needs to hear it if you're not going to get it, if you're not going to get the response that you need or want. If you can't do that to a person who needs to hear what you have to say, it's damn near impossible for you to do it to someone just because you want to get something off your chest, and it doesn't even have to do with them at all.
Right.
You know what I mean? Your mind state is already going to be turned away from that type of option because the motherfucker who needs to hear it don't care. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter to them at that point. So why would I even express how I feel to somebody else about that who can't even help the situation at hand? You know what I mean?
You gotta at least try, bro.
Yeah, I'm not saying that that's how. I mean, me being older than me being at the age that I am now,
old as fuck.
and yeah, you right behind me. You know what I mean? And he's the oldest out of all of us.
Yeah, just remind niggas about
that. But I mean, when we were younger, we didn't really, even to each other, we didn't talk about things like that. Like, we talked about the here and now, what we doing, what we getting into, what happened, but stuff that affected us, like us three as a trio, we didn't really talk about. We wouldn't go to each other and be like, yo, I have a problem with this, and I'm just here to vent to you about something randomly without, you know what I mean? Us as kids and young 20-year-olds, our mind wasn't in that state where we would look at each other and be like, yo, I need you as an emotional crutch right now to kind of just listen. It was like, nah, it ain't none of his business type situation. Even though we cared for each other the way we did, that's not how we came to each other. Us as adults understand the benefits and the necessity of us talking about what's going on with our lives to each other. For one, just to keep each other informed and in the loop because we've dealt with each other for so long. And then two, it's like, I know that I can trust you. And it's definitely a thing that has to do with confidence and being comfortable with a person enough to not feel like you're being judged or can take the criticism that's willing to come with the conversation that you're ready to have. Because I tell people all the time, there's two things that you're going to get from me. There's two things you can ask and you're going to get my mouth about it. And it's going to be money and my opinion. You know what I mean? If you need to borrow money from me and you telling me why you borrowing money, I'm going to tell you why you shouldn't have to be borrowing money from me. But even if I'm giving it to you, I'm going to say something about it. I expect somebody to say the same to me. If I need to borrow some money about something, yo, you need to be, I'm like, yeah, I know. And it's probably something that I do know.
Right.
But you're going to end up hearing that from me. And if you are talking to me about something that's going on, you're going to get my opinion about the situation because I'm going to chime in. This is going to be a two-way conversation, more than likely. It's not just me sitting here listening about it. I mean, I'm going to have questions. I'm going to wonder. I want to see what route you took to get to where you at so I can see why it's that way. And if you're bugging, if they're bugging, or whatever the situation is, maybe I have some experience, maybe I don't. Maybe you teaching me something, but it's always going to be a two-way conversation. You know what I mean? So you're definitely going to hear a rebuttal from me on either situation. So I have to be comfortable in knowing that if I'm talking to somebody, I should expect that as well. And if I don't think that your opinion matters to me, then I never will tell you what's going on in my head.
That's
you
one
know
of
what I
those
mean?
things.
Like,
Motherfuckers be
you'll
trying
never
to
know. So comfortability within conversation and being able to be confident and secure enough to let your guard down and be emotionally invulnerable to a person when you're telling them what's going on with you. And that's just me speaking from a person who goes through depression. I mean, this is something that I probably just realized within the last couple of years that I go through. and probably went through it my whole life and not understood. You know what I mean? It could very well have been me and not them a lot of the times because of my mental and stuff that I go through and how I react to situations and stuff that I know I go through at home with my fiance and vice versa and shit. She might have to deal with me. There's not many people that I'm mentally or emotionally invulnerable to that I can speak to and be like, I can talk to you about this and not feel like you're gonna say something that make me be like, shut the fuck up. You know what I mean?
Can't take
Where I
advice
can
from
be
everybody.
open and take the criticism. I don't have a lot of people that I feel that way towards. Even though we can be best of friends, it could still be hard for me to tell you exactly where my mind goes because I don't need to hear a negative comment from you because I'm already going through the negativity. You know what I mean? So I mean, us as men, it's just it's about pride and it's about you being able to express your emotions and take that criticism and you know what I'm saying, being able to understand that you just a person like any other being on this earth. You're gonna go through things and you're not necessarily gonna be able to go through them all alone. You know what I mean? Not everything can be a battle by yourself, mentally, physically, spiritually, however it is. You know what I mean? Sometimes there has to be a person or a group of people that have your back in all situations, whether like I said, it be mentally, spiritually, or physically. They there for you like a crutch. You know what I mean? To make sure that you good, so you can be able to carry on and do what you're supposed to do. Some people don't have that. Some people don't know how to look for that or to find that in a person. You know what I mean? And then they do end up imploding, like you said.
That can be very dangerous because it's also the other side of people with those issues is the ultimate thing we don't want to happen because I've seen that too. And
yeah, that life, yeah,
yeah,
there's no prevention for that.
When you feel like you have nowhere else to turn, and that's a deeper thing too. Like we all attributed that to like mental illness or like other shit, but
It's hit.
a regular person can want to end it because they feel like, who do I have to turn to, and do they even care?
I've been there. I've been there.
Okay.
But that was me hitting. I hit rock bottom. I really had nowhere to go but up. Hit rock bottom, and I hit it hard enough where I felt that way, but I was strong enough to be like, you can't do that. You got so many people depending on you. And once I got that mindset, it's like, look, I'm already at the bottom. There's nowhere to go but up. So when little shit will fuck with me, I'm like, and I already had something worse than that already happened to me. It's like, that ain't phasing me.
What doesn't kill you make you stronger. It's a saying for a reason.
It's the same, man. But I don't think as men we should go through that shit on a regular fucking basis, dog. That's the thing is like we've like say talking our problems out. Sometimes you tell women your problem, they use that shit as ammunition. Like, why I'm venting to you? Why are you loading this up as bullets in your guns for the next argument to fire them shits off? I told you, man,
that's toxic.
Yeah. I told you in confidentiality that this is just something I told you to get off my chest that just helped me relieve some stress. I don't want to be reminded of it. I don't want you to fucking, you know what I mean, use it as a way against us, man. And that shit happens all the time. Like, I mean, there's a lot of guys out there that can say they've been in relationships where that shit just happened.
That's
say it had.
No, I've seen it. Have I dealt with it? I've been with the same woman for a while, and I haven't necessarily dealt with that, but it is one of those things that at least in another conversation she could say, and I'll be like, why do you even say anything about that? This ain't about that. You know what I mean? Maybe she can misunderstand the situation or something like that. But I think that's a big thing. Why? Because your woman will tell you, like, you can talk to me. What are you talking about? And you'll be like, nah, not about this.
Yeah, that's why I had a chick that I would talk to. I thought I could talk to because we was cool. I gave her the rundown. That motherfucker load that shit up as ammo. So after that, I was like, I'm never talking to you anything about anything I'm going through in my life. And it's just like
that's dangerous too.
It is
for her, for the other person.
That's why
for her. Yeah,
that's why they're gone.
Right. Yeah, because it's like once you. The one thing about a man, maybe a woman, I'm not sure.
Both of us.
If I open up to you and you basically either give me not the wrong answer, because I'm not looking for an answer, but if you don't react, like if you're not listening, or you be like, well, you should be strong enough to.
If you're just if you're nonchalant, or if you're taking their pain and using their pain against them, they're going to be done with you.
I'll never open up to you again. And once I don't open up to you, we don't have nothing else.
Yeah, that's a killer to the relationship, dog.
We don't have nothing else to talk about. I'm serious. Once I'm an emotional guy. Sorry for people who don't know, I'm an emotional guy, which means if I open up to you and it's very, and soon as if I open up to you like, damn, man, I just don't know what to do with my life, and I'm, man, I'm really having some problems, and the motherfucker be like, oh well, smoke some crack, like try to make a joke about it.
It's like, it's not.
It goes, yeah, I should do that, and I turn around like,
why that?
Why fuck out of here, nigga? I'll never talk to you about shit again.
Yeah, like why I'm talking to you? Like I'm not talking. Like we like that's a lot of men, man. Men go through a lot, and people don't think, they just think that we some big tough motherfuckers. Like, yeah, like it's a lot of stress on the dude head. It's a lot of stress on the dude head. If he got a family, he got to take care of. He out there hustling, putting his life at risk every night, and trying to. He don't want to be there. He'd rather be rich. You know what I'm saying? He'd rather have money, but it's like I don't have nowhere else to turn. I don't know how to get it. And anybody I'm telling me how to get it, they not telling me shit. You know what I mean? Nobody want to be out there. If somebody was to talk to that young man, say, yo, man, you can take that little couple $100 you make, and I can show you how to flip that shit every day legally. You think they wouldn't take that over sitting on the corner?
Some niggas wouldn't. But I get your point, though.
But there are there's some immature people like that don't get it, but it's just like I don't have no other way out, bro. Like I'm stressed. This is stressful. I got people dependent on me. I got to be out here. I ain't got no choice. Like your job. You got to. Most of us guys, we go to our job not because that's the
I go because I have to.
You go because you got so many people.
That's it.
You got so much stress on your fucking head about how to take care of them.
Y'all know me. Yeah. I go because I have to, not because I want to.
But that your job stressing you out, and you got to be there all day because you got responsibilities. You got people at home dependent on you.
Yep.
And
I have mentally, a mortgage,
notes. Yeah, it's mentally breaking you the fuck down every single day. It's like last thing you want to come home to is some more bullshit. Correct. Or come to anybody with more bullshit. It's like, yo, I just sat through this motherfucker 13 hours a day. I didn't want to be here. I was already feeling like shit, but I went anyway because I know if I don't go, money don't flow through here, and money don't flow through here, shit start getting turned off, or we looking at each other like where we living at.
Which makes you, in turn, me at least, feel like not less of a man, but like it's my fault.
Yeah,
it's my fault. And which puts us down a deeper hole, and we keep that. Once you feel like it's your fault about some shit going wrong with your house, are you going to talk to your woman about it? No, not really. No, not the deeper part. Yeah, I can tell you, damn man, shit fucked up, but I can't tell you the deeper part.
Yeah. How can you tell them? Like real shit. Like how can you say like, yo, you go to talk about, yo man, shit fucked up my job. Da da da. The first thing they gonna think is like you attacking them. Like I'm not even.
That's
go ahead. Listen, you're I'm not fucking attacking.
That's the shit right there I gotta deal with. I'm not. It's always my fault. I didn't say nothing about you.
I'm not attacking you. I'm trying to get shit off my chest so I can feel good. Look, I just hit a nerve.
God, yeah, because that's the shit I be dealing with, man. I love my wife. Don't get it twisted, but it's like it be them times where you got that part on your chest. Sometimes I'm not. It's like, yo, I'm not talking about me and you. I'm just talking about how this situation makes me feel right now. And how it's been making me feel lately. And you talk about one thing and it gets turned around like, oh, because it's my fault. Well, I'm gonna try to. I'm like, yo, never mind.
You're not making my situation.
It's hard when you're talking to somebody and it's a person that you're investing with, time, money, future, whatever the case may be. It's hard sometimes to actually have a conversation and let them know that the boundaries within this conversation are just about feelings about a situation that's occurring. It's not about how I feel towards you or what you do on a constant basis. It's about a specific scenario that happened, and it made me feel this way. And
Right.
sometimes my fiance talks to me like that, and I receive it the wrong way. You know what I mean? Because just of how it is, because I'll be looking at it one way and she'll be looking at it one way, and because I have my opinion and views of the situation, and it differs from her opinion and views of the situations, we may clash. Excuse me. But I think it takes time and honestly training to train yourself, a person who's never used to doing that and being open and accepting a situation where you're not talking about me in a specific for oh, you're not talking about me as in character for a long periods of time or what I consistently do. You're talking about a situation that shouldn't occur, or you shouldn't have to feel like this, or maybe you do feel a way, and you may feel that I'm unaware that you feel that way. You know what I mean? And it can be talked about and adjusted so things can be better. It's hard to deal with a situation like that, especially if it's not easy for you to be able to accept fault or responsibility for a situation, or if it's just something that you're not used to. You know what I mean? If you're used to someone always attacking you, or you feel like somebody is always blaming you for something, then you're going to take each and every situation the same way that was brought to you. You're not going to know how to receive the
Gotta let that
information
shit
that's
go.
given to you.
I think they
Let
feel
that shit
guilt.
go.
I think they
Yeah,
feel
you know
feel
what I
the
mean?
guilt. Like
But
I can see this motherfucker getting wore down.
I don't know. I've dealt with that in my relationship, and it's one of the things I try to let her know. Like, no, this is not about you. But in early stages, shit, maybe even not that long ago, it makes you just quit. It makes you literally just go, never mind.
I'm not
yeah,
talking
you
to
got to
you.
learn.
mind.
You
I'm
got
not
to.
talking to you about this shit no more.
I think it just comes down to you having to learn to be able to just be open and be able to know who to be open with. Uh,
Give me a
you
damn
know,
psychiatrist. I'm
yeah,
not
yeah,
joking.
you can get. There's
I'm about to
nothing
call
wrong
him.
with talking to somebody, whether you have to pay for it and they are professional, or if it's somebody who you just vent to because they're your peoples, or it's your family, or somebody that you're comfortable with. That's it. It really comes down to you just being comfortable with that person, and you being able to accept what may ever come back.
Can I tell y'all another quick story?
Go ahead, bro.
I did a job on Friday where I went to this person's house. And see, with me, a big thing about me talking to people is that sometimes I get fatigued from that shit. I'm gonna tell you what I mean. I walk into people's houses. This one lady house, her mom just died. Her mom just died fucking earlier this week. So I was there on Friday and her mom died on Monday. So I walk in. As soon as I walk in, nicest lady in the world, but just and I'm like, my name's Andre. like you know what I'm saying? It's like I don't know you from a can of paint. As soon as you walk in, like, listen, I understand because somebody checked me on this one time because somebody told, like, I don't post about people on my social media, but one time about 2 years ago I did, and somebody said, "Yo, people be going through a lot of shit, such and such, such 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 such," and I was like, "Word." So I keep that in mind when I deal with people, but sometimes it is exhausting because I don't know you and you're unloading onto me.
Yeah.
So, she's telling me her dad's upstairs crying. I hear him crying. It's fucked up. I hear him boo-hooing.
Yeah, what's going on?
Boo-hooing. And I'm
His
like,
wife died.
fuck. I gotta fucking, all right, well, where's your shit at? You know what I mean? And she would literally follow me out to my truck talking, literally follow me to the joint talking. I went down the basement, this dirty ass basement talking. I'm like, fuck. Like I sometimes I can't give you anything back.
I don't think she wanted anything back, bro. I just think she wanted an ear to listen.
At the end of the install, what do you think she said?
Thanks for listening.
Yo, thank you for listening. I got a whole lot of shit. Like, that feel like 100 pounds just lifted off my shoulders.
That's all she wanted.
100 pounds. And I said, right. Because you put that shit right on my fucking back, bitch. I got to go somewhere. Sorry. I don't mean to be like that. And I felt good for her. I was like, yo, that's great. But, yo, Fuck, like, what am I supposed to do? People don't want to talk about the transference of energy because that's an energy transfer. Like, yo, that's cool, and I'm glad, but let me agree to be the person to be that for you before you just give it to me soon as I walk in, because I got to carry that around with me all day.
But a lot of people do that shit all the time on social media. Why you think it's easy?
At least you got a choice to answer the shit.
But I'm saying it's easy. Like, it's easy when I do my rant. Some of them shit a lot of that should be personal, but it just gets off my chest and I'm good. Nobody, I don't give a fuck I don't care who's listening, who's watching. The comments I get is just, I'm just ranting. This podcast, the same fucking thing. I use it as a tool. It's a mechanism to get little pieces off my plate, bro.
Somebody's gonna listen to it, and somebody listen. I don't give a fuck if it's 10 years from now. Somebody gonna listen to this and say, "Yo, I'll be dealing with the same shit."
Yeah, we all. I mean,
same shit.
Men walk around with the smiles, and you don't know what they're carrying because another thing as men, we got to give off this energy to other guys that, like, hey, crazies might say, hey, don't fuck with me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Don't try me. Don't test me. Don't do anything disrespectful. Don't say nothing disrespectful to the lady I'm with.
Right.
Yeah, I got to give this whole persona off. And when inside, you might be feeling like you just beat. Like, man, this nigga get on me. He got me. I'm not up for it today. Or if he says something, he could probably hurt my feelings. But I got to give off this energy of this toughness all the time. And we got to do it. This is, listen, it's animal instinct. It's bred into us as men.
Yeah, it is.
It is.
It is. That's why I was talking to my homie yesterday or the other day about going to jail.
I've been having dreams about that
Don't
shit.
ask me why.
I've been having crazy dreams about that shit.
And I always say you got to turn into an animal.
You do.
And there is no emotion in there.
It's not.
Because that emotion could be life and death. You show weakness.
But how many men in jail right now, they in there, their moms died or their pops died, their brother or sister died, their best friend died. The woman that they thought loved them just abandoned them. The people they think love them just abandoned them. They in there.
You get forgotten about.
You be in that motherfucker every day just pacing. Niggas getting years like, damn. Be happy to get a phone call. It's like, all right, somebody care about me out there. So why it turns like that whole prison situation is it just turned regular men into animals. It turns you into beast, and it's fucked up. Like, they should really have like something when these guys come home, they got somebody to talk to.
You would think, right?
Unload or
other than a parole officer. You would think they would do that.
They
right?
just don't. Because it's a fucking business. How you get customers back? Look, if I sold you a lifetime supply of fucking toilet paper, and my business is all I do is sell toilet paper, you'll never come back here. Correct. So if I just sell you 1 or 2 rolls at a time, you got to come back. Same with them. If I give you this negative energy in this fucking place, and then I send you back in the world carrying that same baggage, you're going to load that energy onto somebody, and you're going to be right back at my business again. Yep. Glad to see you came back.
I'm going to welcome you back with open arms because that means something for me. Now, let me ask y'all a question. And we can wrap this up soon. How do we change that? Meaning, how do we move through life, get our emotions out? What are some tools that we can use? This is me asking for anybody in this that ever listen to this that might want to know. I say therapy, but what else can you do?
You got to take therapy. You got to talk to people, man. If you got to get this shit off your chest. And if you have sons, like I was saying earlier,
teach them to talk.
You got to teach your sons to talk. You got to teach your son it's okay to get shit off your chest and not look weak. This whole persona, like, women got to stop looking at us as we this humongous beast that can just do everything. Like, not only do our jobs beat us down, like we all did very manual labor jobs. That automatically puts a 10-year stress on your body, adds 10 years to you.
Mm-hmm.
On top of the shit you go through there, on top of you come home to a family, being the breadwinner, being the caretaker, being the protector, you got all these responsibilities. You'll never, that's why it's very rare. Like, you see a lot of women have mental breakdowns where it's rare.
They deal with a lot.
They deal with a lot, but I think men don't have it because it's some kind of program. Like, if I break down, somebody's going to take advantage of my family and I won't be there to protect them. that shit gotta be put somewhere. But that energy that they're putting somewhere is the strain they put on their relationships with their women.
Mm-hmm.
They
and
mentally breaking them down, and they mentally breaking the kids down. But that's just me being mentally breaking down. Like, yo, y'all don't understand. You snap when you motherfuckers don't understand what I'm going through right now. Who did you tell what you going through right now? So how they gonna understand?
Right.
We got to get that shit out because it ain't healthy for our relationships.
What y'all think about family therapy?
It's good.
No bullshit.
I'm serious. It's a good thing.
What do you mean by family therapy? Like a family going to a therapist or therapy within family?
Family going to a therapist.
Oh, well, I mean, there's nothing wrong with going to a therapist, no matter the in your situation.
Okay. I'm making my appointment. I'm making my appointment.
I got to too, bro. Listen. Like, I keep it. I'm real. I'm be honest with you, man. This whole subject is very touching to me because I told you, the nightmares is getting worse. The stress is getting worse. Like, I don't know what's going to give out first. Is it going to be me physically, like I'm going to have a heart attack or stroke or something?
We don't want that.
Or I'm just going to mentally just be broken.
We don't want that.
That's where I'm at right now with stress. People always come to me looking to me to help them and talk to them. Like, God damn, like I'm always going out my way to help everybody else, but niggas don't realize, yo, I'm tired, I'm beat, like my mental ain't up to it, my physical ain't up to it. Like I'm pushing my limit, and then I'm here trying to like carve out time for my kids, my woman, and everything else, and do shit around the house. Is like, man, like
I know we don't always read comments, but I feel like that comment is very important, and it needs to be read.
It's from Courtney.
Yes. So it says self-awareness is the first step, and then making necessary steps to heal and work on yourself, which I completely agree with, because that's how I understood I need to go to fucking therapy. Because you can only understand so much about the human brain, emotions, and all that shit. You're not trained on that. A therapist is. You know what I'm saying? And just surround yourself around those that celebrate. I can't see. Upstairs. Yeah. Celebrate and you not just tolerate you. Okay. Protect your peace and your energy. You allow around you. There you go. I'm sorry. It's very far, so I couldn't see. So that's what that is. I do believe that was an important. It was very important.
Who are you working with?
Sit down. Yeah, sit down, brother. Just sit down. Talking about who can men talk to.
Yeah. We's breaking that shit down, man.
Trey Miles with us
now.
Just
keep going, man.
Keep going, yeah. There's some headphones there for you, brother. I got a bone to pick with you anyway.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. I forgot about that.
Nah, we gonna break that.
All right, we're gonna break that down later on.
Nah, we was talking about like, yo, do you go through stress as a man? Who you feel as though you got to talk to? Like, who can you talk to about? Do you feel like you got anybody?
Help him out. Kev, help him out. And
up a little bit.
All right. Yeah. That's a good question. Who can I really talk to? Wow.
Yeah, very deep.
Yeah, that is. It's funny that y'all talking about this, because I literally a few weeks ago I'm thinking like, because you did something. You did right.
Yeah.
The rant, and just like, who can you talk to? I'm like, yo, now that I think about it, dang.
You never got no.
Not really. Yeah. Like, I never really got broken down. I really had to learn a lot on my own. Now that I think about it.
Yep.
Yeah. Think about that shit.
Like, Dad, Pops wasn't there like that, and my step pop, he did his part, but it wasn't like we sat down and had these manly conversations. Right. He wasn't that type of guy. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, now that I think about it, like, yo, I really.
And you recently lost your step pops and shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Think about that. Who did you have to vent that energy? Because we all lost somebody. It's like, yo, who do I got to turn to say this is what I'm going through today? Like, niggas see me stressing.
Yo, bro. Honestly, I just stay spiritual, bro. Okay. For real. Because like, seriously, even thinking about it, like, and all the stuff I do go through, and it's important for us to talk to people, yo. Like, you got to talk. Like, what you did was that was big, bro. Like, we need to do more of that. It's okay to cry. It's okay to let people know how you feel. It's okay to have emotions, because we not used to that. You had to be a man, or you was a bitch if you wasn't. Nah, yo. A real man shows emotions, man.
Right.
A real man cries.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's the funny. And we were just talking about that. It's like we always got to put off this persona to everybody, so nobody comes and attacks you. So nobody comes and tries you. But you not feel. It's days you don't feel up to that shit.
Right.
And they can get you and they got you.
Yep.
But you got to put it out there like, man, hopefully my bluff scares these dudes off enough to keep them there, because I don't have it in me right now.
I don't bluff my way out of a lot of situations. I fuck you up. Oh, well, but you don't know that. I haven't fought in 20 years.
Or
you don't know that.
Or just bluff your way out of a conversation that feels uncomfortable for you. Like, we do it all the time, and you don't really realize that somebody come up
Hey,
to
how you doing?
Yeah, that, or just with us, yo, what's good? You good, my nigga? And yeah, I'm good, yo. You sure?
Yep.
I like we had a situation, not to go to the past or bring up old shit, but we had a situation where we were having a party here at one point, and I arrived here and Kev wasn't happy at all, and I was like, oh shit, what the fuck's going on? Because I made a joke, and Kev just looked at me like, nigga, jokes ain't allowed here today. And I was like, oh shit, okay.
And that ain't
good.
that ain't
And it's like,
yeah.
it's like, you good, cuz? Yeah, I'm good. I'm like, oh, okay, that doesn't sound like you good. That sounds like a threatening way to tell me that you good. You sure you are? You don't want to talk? Nah, I'm good. Yo, I'm good. It took me like 40 minutes to actually get him to tell me what the hell was going on. And then when he told me, he lost his shit. You know what I'm saying? But that's because he felt as though it's not. I don't need to be talking to you about this. I don't need to talk. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, it's just some bullshit. I don't need. Nah. And once he actually got to saying what he wanted to say, because he was ready to leave the house. He was like, nah, I'm about to leave. I'll be back later. I'll see y'all later. You know what I'm saying? I'm not staying for this shit. But he actually stayed for the whole party after having a conversation and getting what he had to get off his chest.
Right.
You could see he was a little bit lighter. Then he started getting back to himself. You know what I'm saying? And you can see the transference of the energy from the one point where it was a little hostile to him just kind of saying what he had to say, and then realizing, all right, you know what I'm saying? I'm upset about the situation, but I'm going to do what I got to do. You know what I'm saying? I'm chilling. We good. Let's have some drinks. You know what I'm saying? And just getting past it at that point, instead of it just being built up inside of him and him riding around, going somewhere else, just sitting by himself thinking about the shit and stewing. You know what I mean? Somebody's actually giving him a rebuttal. And you know what I mean? Like, now you're having a conversation and you're in a comfortable zone. You know what I'm saying? And he felt, you could tell at that point, after the conversation over, he's just chilling. Everybody's around, we smiling, we having a good time. It's a complete transfer of energy from the negativity to the positivity, just with a simple conversation. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't nobody saying he was right, she was wrong, they were right, they were wrong. It wasn't none of that. It's just listening. It's just, yeah, well, sometimes, situations, you know what I mean?
Right.
You have
to be neutral.
Just
listen.
Yeah,
sometimes
not every
time.
neutral.
Not
It all depends on the activities and what's going on.
Right,
sometimes you get the benefit of being like, fuck that bitch.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But like, I've been telling you for the longest. You know what I'm saying? When you get sometimes, and then you got energy lifted off of you. Like, man, I've been trying to tell you that for the longest, but now that you saying it, I can say it right. You know what I mean? It's cool. Yeah. So yeah, that shit. I mean, energy is a big part in all of that. You know what I mean? And that you have to have a connecting energy with someone to be able to be, vulnerable to the things that can be perceived in the conversation itself. Because I can have a conversation with you and you can tell me something and I can take it. But if another person tells it to me in the same exact way, I could look at them and be like, who the fuck are you to know how to talk to me? You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't know. And he could be right.
Yeah.
He could be right.
It's where it's coming from too.
Respect levels, you know what I'm saying? Like, all of that shit plays a part. You know what I mean? That's why I was saying you got to choose who you want to be vulnerable with and have these conversations with, because that person has to be able to accept you for who you are and know that this is shit that happens, and we can talk about it, and I'm going to tell you what I got to say about it, and you going to take it because you talking to me about it. This is how we going to banner. You can't necessarily have that bond with everybody, even when you cool as shit with them. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
You can't necessarily just like you said, just unload that on them. You know what I mean? Because y'all might not have that spiritual or mental bond for you to accept what they're saying. Or, you know what I mean? You look at them in their life and now you like, wait a minute, how the fuck you gonna say that? And you're not even doing that for yourself. You know what I mean? Like there has to be a respect level between the two of you mentally to be able to have those conversations. And a lot of people don't feel open enough to be like, I'm going to tell you this and I'm going to let you judge me. I'm going to let you judge my actions. I'm going to let you tell me what the fuck is wrong with me without me having to be like, well, look in the fucking mirror. You know what I'm saying? Like that shit is hard to do as a man to somebody else, knowing that, you know what I mean? Like we're competitive creatures. There's no, in anything we do, you know what I'm saying? Like no matter how you look at it, you could want your brother. I could want you to be the best person in the world and do everything and achieve your goals.
Right.
And I still want to be above you because that's just, I want to still achieve more. Like, yeah, you achieve that, but I need to get here. You know what I'm saying? And then maybe that motivates you to be like, well, then nigga, I'm gonna go here. And it just keeps, you know what I mean? It just keeps going and we can have that relationship and be cool, but it's always a competitive nature, even if it's not on purpose. You know what I'm saying? You might look at it and not think that you're doing anything. You're not doing nothing to hinder that person from doing what they want to do. You just want to strive above that. You know what I'm saying? There ain't nothing wrong with that. But motherfucker is 3D like a motherfucker, boy. This shit.
You can't
the
cry.
Halloween picture, boy.
I'm gonna get away from that. You can't cry with everybody, man. You can't share that with everybody. Do you think there's different? Because I do have, these are my closest friends, obviously.
Right.
But I have other friends, and I do think there's different levels of friends. There's friends you share that emotional bond with, and there's friends you like, now we just gonna go out, we're gonna chill. And then there's friends like, all right, y'all have a good one. And you know what I'm saying? Like there's different level of friends, and you can't give everybody that the keys to your heart.
I get it.
That's a funny thing that you said that because, and I know this doesn't have anything to do.
What's the keys to your heart?
Not the key. I'm talking about the friend situation. So I was at the bar with my fiance, and we actually had a conversation about who you call a friend and who you don't call a friend. And she was like, yeah, Kev has a lot of friends. And I was like, I do have a lot of friends, but she was like, but are they really your friends? Because you don't ask them to do, you only ask certain people to do stuff. I feel like you just ask the people that you actually consider your friends to go out, to hang, to come by, to talk to. She was like, if you don't do none of that to them, why would they be your friend? And I was like, is that why you only have 2 friends? And she was like, yeah, because she really only considers 2 or 3 people to actually be her friend. And I was like, well, babe, if that's the case, then why do you have so many friends on Facebook? And she looked at me and she was like, well, they're not really like friends. They're like, what, associates? I was like, you can have friends and they're all different level of friends.
Supposed to hit the bomb.
You know what I'm saying? Like
supposed to hit the bomb.
You can have friends and they're just different levels. You know what I'm saying? You shared a history. You shared something with this person to link for you to be like, we're not chilling all the time. And I don't necessarily call you, but you are people's. I would consider you a friend if something was to happen and I'm right there. I'm going to make sure that you're okay. You wouldn't have to call me tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? And we still know what it is. You can have friends on different levels and they still be your friend. They don't have to be the person who's beside you consistently or a person who is ride or die for you to be a friend of yours, that's to show friendship. So when I was asking her that, I said, well, there's people that you are around that you basically are telling me that you don't consider them to be your friend.
I don't fuck with them.
I was like, do you think that if you were to say that to them, if you were to ask them if they consider you to be their friend, would they say that you were their friend? And I was like, how many feelings would you hurt if you told them like, well, I don't consider you to be my friend? You know what I mean? Like you there, y'all hanging together, you're chilling. It's a good time, and you may not know that person on a super personal level, but you know this person. You've hung out with this person. You've dealt with this person. Y'all have done things together in the past. if that's not your friend, then why would you associate with yourself with that person? Period. You know what I mean? I think friendship goes on a deeper and different level. There's different levels to a person being your friend. You could be a person's friend and just by being there, just all right, we cool. We friends. We not best friends. You not my nigga. You just my nigga. You know what I'm saying? Right. And that's just how, I mean, I don't know if that's how everybody rolls, but that's how I roll. I mean, the people who are my friends on Facebook, I know them because we've done things to acquire a friendship.
Right.
We don't necessarily have to hang out all the time. There's no way that I'm going to hang out with, I don't know, 1,000 of the friends that I have on my friends list.
But there's also different parts of your life that you accumulate these people.
There's pages in the book of your life that exactly. Right. You could have grew up with them and y'all were best friends while y'all were kids, and y'all just not like that no more because you grow apart. Some people grow together, some people grow apart.
Absolutely.
So with that being said, if you have those best friends and you don't have nobody to talk to, then are they really your best friends?
Good question. Would you be able to talk to your close friends? Yeah. Like that, I mean.
Yeah. I can. But then it's that thing where you got that what's that third party. So you think it's between y'all, and then it's like, you might be married, and just to brush up something, just to spark a conversation with the wife. Well, whoa, bro. So I actually been through that. So even like moving forward, like I gotta be mindful of who I'm conversating with. So now I can't even let everything out. And I'm being real, I can't even tell my brothers everything. You feel me? It's like, damn, it's like that. There's certain things that you just can't share with certain people. But the funny thing is, like, what about
I'm gonna say something before you go forward. You have a twin brother. He knows everything you think. When you were sleeping, he's having the same dreams that you're having, and you don't even know it. You guys are spiritually and mentally connected. When you feel pain, he feels pain.
Listen, I'm not going to disagree to that, but as far as like we think and all that other stuff, like, nah, it's not really like that. But we do have this. Of course, we was in mom's womb since so it is this. There's some type of connection there, like. And I honestly think as we're getting older, it's getting better, actually. Wow. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, because me and my brother were twins, but we different.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of things that we had disagreements too, that even things where I was like, I gotta fall back off this man, yo. You feel me? Like dead ass. But
it's hard to do that when
it's hard in
the mirror.
It's hard because I see the man he can be. You know what I'm saying? But it's just other things that he would allow to get to him. It's like, you know what? Sometimes you gotta let that person go through it.
Right.
So I can sit here and say, yo, you should do this, you should do that, or give you the advice, but it ain't gonna work unless you geared to do it, unless you really want to do it. And
absolutely.
Yeah, but yeah, yo, that is weird. But now it's getting better though. Like I'm like, this is actually the relationship I want with my brother. I want to be able to come to you and tell you certain things. I want to be able to, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. Sometimes it's just timing.
Yeah. That's crazy. My brother is 30. You know what I'm saying? And now we can have some of those grown man conversations that I was trying to hip him to game before.
He ain't want to listen.
He ain't want to listen.
Yeah, man, and this is just experience from all of us. When you're young, man, you're dumb. You're young and dumb. Absolutely. That's the statement is true.
Facts.
But you want to be dumb. No, yes, you do. You want to be dumb, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because all of us have been in situations where someone is saying, "I'm telling you, bruh, you don't want to do that. I'm telling you, bruh, you should do this." Yo, I'm just telling you from my experience and experience from all of those around you. You should be doing it this way, but you purposely do it your way because you want to be dumb. You want to see what's at the end of that tunnel when you do it your way.
I think it's necessarily you just want to say
that's not.
You want to prove somebody wrong. Like
that's wanting to be dumb, bro. That's if a person knows you don't go to a person who has experience. That's like you going to Dre and telling Dre how to set up somebody's alarm the right way when he's doing it, and you don't set up alarms at all. This is what Dre does for a living. Dre's gonna look at you and be like, "No, Kev, you're actually supposed to do it this way. You shouldn't do it that way. You can fuck around and get electrocuted." No, Dre, I know what I'm talking about. This is how you got to do it. Kev, have you ever done this before? Nah, it's my first time, but somebody was telling, listen, let me tell you, a person who's a professional, don't do that. But Dre, all you got to do is,
that's ego.
I told you.
Is that him getting electrocuted?
I think
that's him getting electrocuted, and you like, I told you.
But I think that's meant ego and pride as much as it is. It's not dumb.
How many times have you found yourself in a prideful situation and realized that was dumb?
You could throw 60 yards.
Kev told us earlier today, before we started the podcast, he was like, yo, I could throw 60 yards. And I said, Dre was like, no, you can't, Kev. And Kev was like, yes, I can, Dre. I can throw 60 yards. And Dre was like, no, you can't. And he was like, and I'm going to be mad as hell when you throw the football, go 20 yards. I say to Kev, that is 60% of a football field. And Dre says, yes, that is. That's over half football field. Kev said, yeah, that's 50 yards plus another 10 yards.
You haven't seen this man do anything athletic in years, right?
It's been a while.
So I'm going to ask you. You should know. Can this man throw 60 yards?
I've never seen Kev throw a football.
One time, play quarterback.
Here's a funny
He played
thing.
basketball. That was it.
He ain't passed that.
Never seen this man throw a football.
Just last year, I said, just last year, I said, yo, I can still dunk. They was like, nah, you can't dunk, Kev. I said, bro, give me a ball. I had to warm my knees up. My knees is bad. My knee is shot. But I dunked the ball. This nigga was like, word. I didn't know you could still dunk.
60 yards ain't a dunk. 60 yards at my most athletic in my life.
Boy,
I could not throw 60 yards.
Make sure you warm that arm up, boy.
Yeah,
I'm telling you.
You know it.
I want to see
out.
this. I want to see this. We're going to have to set this up.
Nick Saban should be calling you if you throwing 60 yards right now.
Yeah, I can't throw the shit accurately. I ain't hitting the nigga while he running this route.
This one, throw that joint.
Get 60 yards.
Yeah,
I ain't hitting the nigga
You're
running
going to
this
pick up a
route.
rock. Watch, 60-yard rock, though, right here.
Nah,
It's not going to happen.
We always do this. We get off topic, dog. Like, listen.
Saying, that shit was crazy.
Shit, nigga, you know we all cried just a little minute ago. I don't know if you was here.
Yeah, I was here.
I know you was here. We all fucking
shit us
cried.
here.
You know what I'm saying? Like shit was fucked up. But
Yeah, Dre about to take this poster out every time I
Hey,
turn
dog,
around.
this
What is
shit
it,
right
actually?
there.
What
I
is
got
We
big
just
ass.
did this shit just to make it look aesthetically nice on the
Yeah,
camera. On the
okay.
camera, it looks.
I'm like, but who am I looking at?
My mom,
Okay.
my grandmother bought this picture because she said it reminded her of me and my brothers.
Okay.
So I'm like, she just had it. So I was like, I just throw this shit
Yeah.
up. My mom has the same picture at her house.
I'm guessing that's
Who
you,
would you
Kev.
be? Yeah, who would you
I'm
be?
that dude right there.
That's the
Okay.
nigga that's throwing 60 yards.
That's KB.
That is definitely KB. That's Sammy for sure.
That's definitely
Yeah, and that would definitely be motherfucking Don.
Who's that?
That's Chubba.
Just some extra nigga.
That's Frank. That's
He's
Frank.
just there.
Yeah, Frank always around. Look, that's Frank, glasses and all.
Yo. All right.
I would assume that's how
Go ahead.
Frank would dress. That nigga is debonair. He got the chain on, the whole nine, bro. You don't see that? The hat, the chain, the glasses.
kerchief.
Yeah.
We about to start another show.
That's what I thought we was gonna do.
We are gonna do it. I'm gonna end this live right now.
Yeah, and I think we got into some good shit, but let's bring it up a little bit.
All right.
Let's bring it up. Yeah,
When we end it, or you
That-
We
Hey,
could
look,
chop this up, can't we? We could just chop it up.
we could, but let's end it and start another one. That was
Okay.
our show for the day.
Okay.
We didn't. What do you want to do?
No, we still gotta do Trey. We Trey's.
I
Yeah.
know. Don't
It's
you
nice
want to
that
start
Trey came in
another
at
one,
the
or do
end.
you want to do?
Boom, there it is.
So if you're listening to this,
We out. Peace.
if you're listening to this, podcast, we are the Opinionated Podcast.
Correct.
This is episode 74. Yeah. Okay. So we're at episode 74, and Trey came in at the end of it. And if you would like to hear him and hear a little bit more about what he has going on and what's going on in the future,
Just hang
you
around.
can check out episode 75 if you're on Facebook.
75.
We will be right back.
Just hang around.
That's
And
it, man.
that's it.
That's it.
And we're your hosts.
What's your name? This is Andy and the Rant.
Andy
No.
and the Rant.
I'm Kevin Durant. You're
All right.
Andy.
This is Andy.
I'm gonna have to make up one sooner or later. But I'm cool, Kev. I'll have something
And
cool
Trey.
for you.
And Trey, we're coming right back, yo.
All right, that's it. We started just
I'm
talking.